Ben Barton is a jet-setting chef who's cooked all around the world and then returned to Aotearoa to open pop-up dining events around Auckland, which led to Scarecrow, a kitchen, cafe, grocery and florist open 7 days a week with an emphasis on Mediterranean flavours using delicious local kai. Kia ora Ben, nau mai, hana mai, welcome to our koutou. Great to have you here today. I'm very excited about the sort of kai that you do, Mediterranean flavour. Koina to momone, that's what you do?
Yeah, so that's my background. I've spent a lot of time over in Europe through the Mediterranean. We're bringing those flavours to the central city.
What exactly are we going to make when you have all these choices?
Today, Mediterranean stuffed lamb shoulder that we're going to braise off there. So we're going to break this apart and put all the flavours of the Mediterranean inside there.
Hei tāpiri ki tēnā, and to add on to that, what's our second dish here?
So Israeli couscous salad and these same kind of Mediterranean, Middle Eastern flavours all works really well together.
He hā te mahi tuatahi, so what are we going to do first?
We better get the oven on. Turn the oven on, nice and hot.
How hot's that?
220.
Ai, tika tau.
Before we get our hands covered in the lamb, I think we should get everything that we're going to put in the lamb organised. So let's cut some peppers into strips. So nice long strips across this way. All right, and now we need to pit some olives, and you can just crush them with your kind of thumb or the butt of your hand, and then the stones come out pretty easy. So we're going to put some sun-dried tomatoes in there as well, and some anchovies. These are not loved by everyone, and they're not going to impart much flavour into the dish. Like, you won't even know they're there. They're just the salt, basically.
Okay, ka pai. E hare te me me tapahi, don't have to chop those up?
No, you can just leave them whole. They're just going to dissolve. You won't even notice they're there in the end. And I'm going to work on the lamb now. So this one's been already boned and rolled out and tied up again. So we're just going to get this lamb out of its wrapping, but we want to maintain this wrapping because we're going to stuff it all up and then use the same caging to do it. If you don't manage to keep the wrapping in good shape, you can just use some twine. So basically we can just fold this out, bones taken out of it. So I'm not going to trim this one up too much. So what we want to do is put the anchovies down directly on the meat. And then next I'm going to go with a big bunch of spinach. It's going to give a bit of a green layer across there. And then it's kind of going to be the same thing with the rest of ingredients, kind of some olives along the kind of strip here, some of the peppers along there, the sun-dried tomatoes, we've got some feta and some figs, so just going to fit as much of it as we can in there.
Rawe, huh? That looks so good. So it's wrap-up time, is it?
Wrap-up time, a little bit of pepper, maybe just like a sprinkling a little pepper over it. We'll just get our dish that we're going to cook it in ready as well, so it can go straight into there.
So when you're choosing, what sort of pot do we really need?
Anything that's oven safe with high walls, because we're going to put a whole lot of liquid in around this, and this one's got a lid on it, so we don't need to worry about baking paper and tin foil to cover it over. We're just going to try and gently roll it up without letting too much stuff fall out. If it does fall out, don't worry, we can just stuff it back in. The way that I go about this is I kind of put it on my hand.
Here, Ken.
Yeah, you get the hang of it, but you don't need to be too fussy, like if you get it wrong. Now we'll just give it a real gentle amount of salt and pepper on the outside of this. Straight in here, and leave the lid off 10-20 minutes at a real hot oven. And then while that's doing, we do the next stage, which is all the kind of aromatics and braising stuff that we're gonna put in with it once it's got some more colour happening on it. All the little baby carrots we've got there, roughly cut them up, however you like, really. We're not going to eat these, we're just going to cook them until they're mush and all the kind of flavour's going to come out of them in the sauce. I can do the onions and take some of the zest off this lemon. We're going to whack up that celery as well, but again, you can just kind of roughly hack this up. That's some thyme from the garden and some rosemary, some bay leaves we're going to throw in there as well.
Ka aha te wene, what am I doing with the garlic?
Kind of smash that up and chuck it in there.
Skin?
Skin and all, yeah, dump it all in there.
Nā koe rite te meatsi, so the meat's all ready, is it?
Smells pretty good. I think I can hear it as well. Should we have a look?
Oh, titiriki tēnā, look at that. Oh yeah, way too much dribbling going on. Oh, wai ana. Nā reire nei, koe anō tātāua, all we have to do is put it in there?
Yeah, so maybe you can do the wine and I'll kind of stuff these in. So we'll just get as much of this stuff as we can in there. And then what you're putting in, about a cup of wine will probably be enough. and then probably go about a cup or two of water as well. And now just throw the lid back on. If you don't have a dish with a lid, you can cover it with baking paper and then tin foil.
Taua pā mahana tonu, and still that same temperature, is it?
We can turn it down a little bit now, down to about 200 or 180, depending on how hot your oven runs.
Kia hea te roa, and how long for?
Good couple of hours. You probably smell it and you go, oh yeah, it smells good now, and that's generally a good guide.
Hata taua ha te pe whai ake nei ahoa, so what are we up to next?
We're going to move on to our herbed Israeli couscous. I've got a pot, a little bit of olive oil on the bottom of there. I've got a diced red onion, which we're going to sweat down. About a cup of couscous there. And we've got some spices and dried tomatoes in with there. Add your water or your stock. 2-3 cups, you just want to make sure it's covered. Bring it up to a simmer, cook it kind of 5, 7, 8 minutes until the liquids come down a little bit, boiling, lid on, right down low, and then we can add in all the rest of the stuff just before serving. So now we can throw the rest of the bits and pieces in here. And any of those leftovers that we had from stuffing in the lamb, we'll slice them up a little bit and chuck them in there. A bit of fresh citrus juice in there. And a nice kind of drizzle of olive oil as well. A bit of seasoning too. Salt, pepper. And then all your fresh herbs. A whole lot of mint, roughly chopped coriander, rocket, parsley, all those kind of soft herbs are wonderful here.
Could you describe to me how you're going to serve up this whole dish?
You could do it family style, put a big pile of couscous down on the bottom and then put the lamb on top and pour some liquid over the top in the middle of the table, and everyone helps themselves and fights over the last little bits or the chunks of feta, and the people get to choose the olives that they like or the bits that fall out of it. Or you could do it a little bit more refined in one kind of plate each, put a little bit of couscous down, a piece of lamb on it, and drizzle a little bit of sauce over the top.
I ngā te atahua, that looks so beautiful, and that was such an amazing technique. I loved it, but really easy, really doable, right?
Yeah, you can play around with it, really flexible. You don't need to be too fussy.
Okay, make sure I've got everything in there. That's such a good combination of flavours. So you get different kind of tastes as you go through it.
Real flexible. Yeah, you can change any seasonal veg with it, serve the meat with any other kind of side as well that you wanted. Just an idea, really. Recipes are ideas, you don't need to follow them too closely.
Kua huri koe te ao katoa, you've been all around the world and you're bringing your goodness back home, so thank you for bringing it to our kouta.
Oh, thank you, my pleasure and privilege.
Kia ora. Well, I'm going to keep on eating, I don't know about you.
Yeah, lunchtime.
So good. Yum.